I'm like, how do you do it? How is it done? She coached me. I wrote something down and then crammed it, to give verbatim when I go for my interview. I go on, to the audition, and then they hand everybody, scripts, and they said that's what you're going to present, and it has to be verbatim. I'm like, oh, what happened to what I crammed? I totally flopped. In fact, I saw someone else and I was like, you know what? You deserve the job. Kudos to you. You will get it.
Hello and welcome to African Voices platform. My name is Tchiyiwe Chihana. My guest today is Akah Nnani, a Nigerian actor, television host, content creator, and writer whose career has taken him from award-nominated screen performances and presenting roles in Nigeria to the lead role in the Netflix film Man of God. Last year, he embarked on a different journey. He relocated to Britain and finding himself experiencing the country for the very first time. Now, those observations, surprises, and moments of reflection have become Rite of Passage, which is a compelling one-man theatre production blending comedy, physical theatre, and a deeply personal storytelling to explore migration. And that's coming to Sheffield. And we'll be talking to Akah about this in a moment. Akah, welcome to African Voices platform.
Thank you so much, Chiwe. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's lovely to have you. And should I be saying welcome to Sheffield, or is that not your permanent home
To
yet?
be honest, I'll take it because I just moved to Sheffield early this year in January. So yeah, the first week of January I moved in, and I've loved it since I
Uh,
moved, from London. But I'm excited, with everything that's happening in Sheffield.
Great. Well, it's lovely to have you. The more the merrier, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. I'm going to try and just start from perhaps you telling me. I mean, I've introduced you to the best of my knowledge, but how would you personally want to describe yourself to people?
Well, I'd just like to say I'm a man who, fell in love with the creative. I just decided to give myself to the arts, to what I felt like I could do. I'm an actor,
Hmm.
content creator, producer. I sing. I actually used to sing in school. And
You
everybody thought,
sing. Okay, I
yeah.
missed that part.
Everybody actually thought that when I came out of school, I was gonna be a music artist, but I just didn't feel like I had the grit for that because it was a different journey that time. There weren't any digital platforms that broke the hegemony and the power of, a lot of like the gatekeepers at the time.
Yeah.
So I just didn't feel like I had the grit to be like a studio rat and yeah, but
Oh, yeah, the industry, the music industry can really be like a rat race,
definitely.
can't it?
Yes, 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 yes. I was just like, no, 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 no. So I actually got into corporate job. I got a
Uh-huh.
9 to 5, but then, I just felt like there was something in me that just, had to be shared with the world. But it didn't start from me believing in myself. A lot of people, my course mates, my manager, my friends would come and just be like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, you're meant to be on TV, you're meant to be a star. And then one day I said, you know what? All these people can't be lying to me. I'm the one lying to myself. So let me take that leap of faith. And yeah, I stepped out. And that's how I started my journey with TV, presenting a show on TV live. First,
Like you went straight into live, not
going
pre-recorded.
straight into live. Look, Chiwe, it was hard. It was grueling,
Yeah.
sometimes embarrassing. I made embarrassing mistakes. But
But
I
those
think
are the
that
things that those are the building blocks, right?
that's right. That's right. I think that's what pushed me into making sure that I, had to become who I am today. Because yeah, I started from TV, then gone into acting, and then, every other thing fell in line.
Okay. I read too that it took a while for your confidence to be built up, like you were lacking confidence to pursue the acting
Yes.
bit.
Yeah.
And what encouraged you to audition for the first role?
I think, for me, it wasn't even like just acting. For me to have even stepped out to become like an artist and entertainer, it was a challenge.
Right.
So I started with TV. Oh my God, you don't even want to hear my
I do
story of
want
how.
to hear it. I do want to hear it now that you've gone there.
Oh my God. Okay, so it started from me calling my friend. And randomly, I was jobless and I had started trying to, earn money. I had been jobless for a while because I resigned and then spent all
Uh,
my money blowing it on a vacation in Dubai.
as
Came
you
back
do,
home,
right?
came back home and sat at home and I started, emceeing a couple of weddings or people recommend me just one, but just, far in between. But then I called my
Yeah.
friend randomly and she's like, hey, I work at a TV station. Come over. We're having auditions for a new, TV presenter. I'm like, what?
Okay. Right.
That day, I go to her house. I'm like, how do you do it? How is it done? She coached me. I wrote something down and then crammed it, to give verbatim when I go for my interview. I go on, to the audition, and then they hand everybody, scripts, and they said that's what you're going to present, and it has to be verbatim. I'm like, oh, what happened to what I crammed? I totally flopped. In fact, I saw someone else and I was like, you know what? You deserve the job. Kudos to you. You will get it.
You imagine, like, well, it's so moving.
It's okay. Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. You know what? I'll learn from this experience.
Yeah.
And guess what? That person actually got the job. But the
All
truth is
right.
that person's character, made them lose the job. And the
Okay.
producer said, there was somebody who I saw raw talent, and I didn't want to have to invest my time and energy into training someone.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think I'll go with that guy. And so they called me up and they was like, oh, take it, take it.
Oh,
And that's how,
I've spent all my savings in Dubai. This is it.
yeah,
Is
that's
it?
how TV started. And then from TV,
Okay.
I saw an audition come up with Africa Magic at the time. They
Oh,
said,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes, they would want actors to come and, be in their films, Africa Magic original films, which was a couple of films that they were going to be producing for TV films,
Yeah.
basically. I didn't I had always dreamt of becoming an actor because, I mean, you're in TV, you're in radio. I think Oprah Winfrey influenced all of us. We all saw of
At some
Oprah
point,
at some
yeah.
point, and we're like, we want to do that. So when I saw Oprah acting, I'm like, if she can act, I can act too. And so
You've been on TV as a presenter, but now you're acting. I can do this.
I
Yeah.
can do this, and but then I didn't know if I was going to go. And my friend asked me and said, if they don't, accept you, who will they accept? You have what it takes. I've known you for so many years. We went to school together. It's like, you have it, Aka. Go. So I went
Wow.
and it turned out to be a yes. And that's how my acting career started.
That's just brilliant. We all need friends like that, but maybe we
Yes.
also just need to be our own people who can tell it ourselves that. Like,
Yes.
I would love to tell myself that. Like, you can do it. You were like this before
Yeah.
somebody else does, but I really do like it. How
Yeah.
did I mean, now you're also a content creator. So there's the presenting, there's the acting. Yeah. Yeah, now a content creator. And by the way, just I wanted to pin this one because you've told me you wanted to be a singer. You're gonna sing at some point today.
Oh my God, Chile. I used to sing, not
Well,
anymore.
it never goes away, so it's gonna happen, whether you like it or not. It's happening on this Hope Day. But tell me about the transitions and how each of those have helped shape whatever bits of your life now as a host, presenter, content creator, actor.
Mhm. I think all these different disciplines have actually shaped my life, the way I even perceive life, my perspective on life, but also
Mm,
shaped my career. They've added something to who I am. I mean, being on TV as a TV presenter gave me the confidence that I needed
yeah.
because I learned the job on the job. And
Hmm.
so I learned how to grow thick skin and
Yeah.
not care about, like, I mean, care, but learn to basically just have a goal and go for it. That helped me not to deter. you know when I learned from that experience of having TV in me, because I mean, like, my producer would give me rigorous exercises, and
Yeah.
she trained my brain to be able to relax and allow my mouth speak before my brain caught up.
Well,
And she says, in real life, you should think before you speak, but on TV, it's better to speak before you
just speak.
think. Yeah. You know, so because the first time I went on my for my audition, I froze, even though I knew it. So they said, calm down, breathe
Right.
in. They put on the light. They were like, we're all your friends here. Don't be afraid. Do you have something you prepared from home? I said, yes. They said, do it. I did it. They were like, okay, good. Do you have what we gave you? I said, yes. So they said, try it again. And I got it. So,
Got it. Yeah.
by the time I had done that and live TV and everybody had, I froze on live TV the first day I went on live TV. And I was hosting alone because when I got the job, 2 weeks after I got the job, my co-host who had been doing it for years had to go on leave.
All
So
right.
so I had to do it alone. And
Ah,
yeah, so
talk
I
about
froze.
being thrown into the deep
Oh, thrown into it. I froze. And but all that trained me that when I went for my audition, I had
Mm-hmm.
confidence. Because before then I didn't have confidence in me or what I had or what I could do. But then by the time I got in front of like the panel for film, I just gave them. They were like, oh my God, we love this guy, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, and so that helped me. Now, acting on itself by itself just helped me find my true love because I did discover that I truly, was in love with acting. I fell in love with bringing characters and getting into depths of emotion to
Yeah,
be other people or create real lives and tell truths because people say, it's a lie when you act. No, it's truth because we go to a depth of emotion and it
yeah,
gives me an outlet to reach some emotions that on a normal I wouldn't have to get to. So it gives me
yeah,
that opportunity to dip into some of those things and the vastness of the varied complexities of humanity that we are.
yeah.
And then, of course, hosting has just
Mm-hmm.
really, really, really helped me because apart from any other thing, hosting has helped me make money.
Absolutely. Okay, that's my favorite side gig as well.
I know.
It helps. It really does
Yes, so
help.
it's
Yeah.
helped me put food on the table for my family. So yeah, those, and then content creation. I think content creation helped me to be able to tell a story, connect with a community, with an audience. So those things, and also work with brands. So yeah, those
Absolutely.
those
Right,
those
right,
help.
right, right. How has that side of things been since you moved? Are you still collaborating with brands? The brands you collaborate with, are they universal, global, or is it Nigeria specific?
So I've connected with Nigerian brands. I've also connected with, universal international brands, global
Yeah,
brands. I've worked with Hugo Boss. I've worked with Giorgio Armani, but I've also worked with Knorr. I've worked with Maggie. I've
yeah,
worked with Unilever. So
yeah.
I've it's varied. And I've been in the industry for 12 years. But I'm 27.
I know. I was gonna say I thought you were 25.
Oh my God, you see? So
27 works, yes.
so it's really been, a couple of projects. And I lived in Nigeria for a lot of years. Well, I've only been here for a year. So in that
Mhm.
time, a lot of multinationals are in Nigeria, but also I've worked with international projects or on international projects from big, big global industries or
Yeah.
companies to smaller ones, and even personal brands. I've worked with personal brands to personal, and yeah.
Okay, right, lovely. So there's mass communication somewhere in your life. Before the corporate job, after the corporate job, when did mass communication come?
So I did mass communication in school, and after school, that's where it's I would say ended because I don't think um my what I studied in school, my certificate helped me in
Mm-hmm.
practical sense.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we did mass communication, when I got to that audition, when I got on TV, I flew.
It's going down the.
I needed to have the life skills,
Absolutely.
the technical, real life, practical. And you know something, that guy who I told you got the job, he told me
Yeah.
that he had been on radio for a long time in his school. So he was on the university
Oh,
radio station. My university didn't have a radio station. So we did the theory. He was already in the practicals,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so he
All
had that
right. So
confidence.
he really did know his thing.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah.
you know, let me tell you something. I
Mhm.
actually later heard that he never did the script that was given to us, you know. Oh
Oh,
yeah, they just asked him, tell us about yourself. This guy went on a rant for 20 minutes.
but how
But
did he get the job then?
he went on a rant and he just got them so involved. He just kept talking and they were laughing and they were,
All right.
because that's the point of the
Get
audition.
engaged.
They want to know that you can keep your audience engaged. He just
Absolutely.
from the back knew what the point of the audition was and said, you know what? You asked me about myself. Let's go. Make them laugh. He engaged them. Me, when they asked me, tell us about yourself. My name is Akah
Well,
Nnani. I went to mass communication and I'm here for an audition. They were
uh-huh.
like,
Nah.
you know.
Get us excited. Yeah. So, can we go a little bit more about building your career in Nigerian film? And you've appeared in production. So I was reading this. I don't know whether I've seen any of this. I probably have, but there's Banana Island Ghost, the Royal Hibiscus Hotel, Jennifer Zari, Dana
Yeah.
Joloff, and then Man of God. And I think
Mhm.
with Man of God, you actually lead that, do you?
Yes, yes.
Give us the spiel. Talk us through all this.
My first feature film was Banana Island Ghost. I
Mhm.
was given the part of a small character. I wouldn't say small, but just, you know, appeared in just like three, four scenes. And
Yeah.
nobody expected my character to be the breakout star. My character eventually became, you know, one of the most talked about characters of the film.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think that that was a lesson for a lot of people, for myself. And I began to see that trend on all of the other projects that I would work on. If you give Aka one scene, he will steal the show. And I
Mm.
began to know that, oh my God, there's something here, there's something here. Banana Island Ghost was comedy, but then later on, I began to see myself doing more dramas, you know. So from feature film, I went to, you know, go on to do other things, you know, and then I went on TV. I was on
Yeah.
on a Nigerian soap, the first,
Okay.
yes, the first uh epic show, epic soap on TV called Ajoche, and everybody loved it.
Was it
Everybody.
in Yoruba, in English, in
It was
was
in
a mix?
English. It was in English,
Okay,
you
yeah.
know. It was in English, but also we would speak. I had to learn another dialect, another language from the Tiv people. And so a lot of them fell in love with me because they just felt like this was the first time a show in Nigeria was built on the cultural backbone of a minority tribe. You know, usually it's
Um,
Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, but this was
yeah.
from Tiv, you know, Benue. And so they were
Right.
so, and I don't, to be honest, that show opened up my eye because I began to wonder, why do we call these people or this tribe minorities? There's so
Yeah.
many. There are a lot because a lot of them have reached out to me. There's so
I
many.
don't know if you know, Aka, but Nigeria does have a huge population, so maybe
Hey,
context to that. If you know the one you're calling minority is probably the whole lot of Zambia's population.
you know what? You're right. I'll just take that. Yes, slight. I don't know. You know what? It's all right. A little bit of insult, just a salty little sprinkle of insult there.
So you know when you said you were always the breakout star in yourself. So I'm getting worried here that my role here is going to be redundant. So I'm going to bring something in as well.
Oh my God, Chiwe. But you know, it was very interesting to see all that. And but at some point I began to I began to get leads in web series or you know TV film, but
Yeah.
not in feature. And I just wanted that. But thankfully, a called Man of God came. It became a Netflix original. When I saw the script, I knew that script was for me. I
Okay.
knew that this was written for me. I don't know if the writer knew, but they were writing me in it. And
It was just you.
I knew that I was nobody in Nigeria was gonna kill that character
Not like
apart from
you.
me. Oh my
Uh-uh.
God. When I went for my reading, director was just like, that's the person. I don't care what anyone
Oh,
says.
wow.
I didn't do an audition because she had seen me on a couple of things prior.
Okay.
I had also been doing theater.
Yeah,
And
I was gonna go like, yeah, when did you get into theater? So you had already started
I had
before.
started theater, but I would do theater once in 2, 3 years, just in between. But I was not a theater. I've never been a theater, person like a thespian. I started
Mm.
in film, TV, actually.
Yeah.
TV
You
then.
just stumble upon it with film.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't, will I say stumbled? I think at some point too, I think it was the year 2016,
Mm.
2017. I just felt like, you know what, I'm an actor. I love acting. And I did see something from Kevin Spacey at the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kevin
What,
Spacey
yeah.
said,
Hmm.
if you're an actor, you should do theater once in a while to sharpen your talent. And I
Yeah.
realized that, you know what, I don't want to be an actor that, you know, will make people bored. I want to sharpen my talent, my craft, and become really good at this. And I think if theater will give me the opportunity to, then I should do theater. And so I prayed and, I saw
Mm.
auditions and I went for, an audition for a theater show and I got it. So
Mm.
yeah, but that experience humbled me, sharpened me, tutored me, because I came from TV and we TV stars, we come with this superfluous idea of who we are. But on the theater,
Mm.
theater humbles you.
It
It
does,
hum-
doesn't it?
oh my
It's
God,
my
and it
favorite
showed.
art to watch rather
Oh
than
my
participating.
God.
I
Oh my
love it.
God. It
Yeah.
showed me that I didn't know anything and I had to learn again because it's a different set of rules that apply. And I had to
Yeah.
learn all that in a couple of months to get ready for the show. I had to be at rehearsals every day. Film is not as grueling,
No. Yeah.
it's painful, but theater, oh my God, you will claw
Yeah.
your fingers on the ground, you'll have injuries. It's crazy. And
And
that's
it's
what happened.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I find that as somebody who sits on the periphery of it, but it's my favorite one to engage with.
Hmm.
I I think it's exceptional talent to be able to hold
Yes.
stage because
Mm.
you're literally bouncing off of people who are watching you in the moment rather
Hmm.
than later on. So I love it. And so
Hmm.
you must be highly talented if you can do it.
If you say
Yeah.
so yourself.
Oh, yes, like I matter that much. Yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah.
Daniel Kaluuya is one of my favorite African actors, and he still does stage. So I always think, I think even, oh, I'm going to butcher this, so apologies, but David Oyelowo,
Oh,
Oye,
yellow one.
yeah, he still does stage. So I
Yes.
always think actors who convince me on stage will be brilliant on
Right.
screen as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah,
Awesome. And so that's how I decided
hmm
to basically
yeah,
plot the graph for my, oh,
yeah,
it wasn't intentional. Well, there was some form of intentionality in it, but that's how it was plotted. So TV, film, and then in between TV and film, theater, and then I began to, do bigger things. I mean, when Netflix picked the film up and blew it up,
yeah.
it just became, oh my God, he has the ability to hold a film, to
Good,
film. So
good.
yeah, that's what, and since then it's just been, one big, step to another.
And you've had I mean, it does look like you've had a very established career. And prior to you moving to the UK, without getting into specifics, you don't want to get into what inspired you move to the UK.
I think how I got inspired because I began to look for more. Uh,
Mm,
I began to feel like there was more to life. I think it started years before I decided to move to the UK. I didn't think I was going to move to the UK ever when I actually felt like if I ever was going to move, I felt like in Nigeria was it for me. Um,
mm,
I didn't actually think that I would want to move and live abroad. But then one year, I think that's where the journey started. I began to redefine what success meant to me. Did success mean
uh-huh.
money? Did it mean success in career? Or did it mean family being,
Mm,
established and sacrificing for my family to make sure that they were fine. My wife, my daughter. I'm a girl dad. And so when I looked and searched my soul and found, began to find out what really mattered to me, I realized that career success was important to me,
Yeah,
but then family and emotional success was more important. And it would make me feel more satisfied and fulfillment than
true.
money. Because again, I now found out that, okay, wait, oh, sometimes like why am I not so driven when I hear money? I now realize that I'm not money driven, I am
Good.
impact driven. And so
Oh,
impact to my society, to my
yeah,
family mattered more and was more successful to me. But we lived in a society where everything was about money. So,
absolutely. You get that.
so I
Yeah.
realized why I always felt out of place or felt like I couldn't thrive in a system that just
Mm,
elevated money above where it should be. And so I started asking questions. Will I really want my daughter to live in an environment like this? Like, what would it
yeah.
teach her? What will she see? And all of those things. I also think that all those questions. So one day I was driving back from the gym and I just felt this deep knowing it's time to it's time to go. And I'm like,
Wow.
what? What? And then later on, I mean, my parents are in the USA, my siblings
Uh-huh.
are in the USA, they're citizens. I just felt like that
So,
would be the place. It makes sense. I
yeah,
have support
yeah.
system. But then, later on, it was the UK that came. Oh my God. Chiwe, I feel
Mhm.
like I talk about this in, my play that's coming up. I
Mhm.
believe God spoke to me. I
Okay.
cried. I cried. I was just
In a
like, why?
moment. So it was that
Why?
much of an epiphany for you.
It
It
was
felt
that
like it
no,
was a
I think
momentous.
I think I cried because I was so afraid. Also because I
Okay.
didn't think that I liked the UK. I had never seen anything that really inspired me about the UK.
Right. Because of what you consume, what's
Just
put
because
out
of
there.
when people post photos, the sky's always gray. I didn't like brown brick walls. I'm just like, oh my God. But when I see photos from Houston, it's beautiful concrete jungle, it's glass, it's lights, it's
Are you very much a city person? Like you
I
want,
understand.
okay, so that makes sense.
I was just like, oh, but again, there's something in me. So
Mhm.
first of all,
Mhm.
like I said, maybe it was a transition when I began to find out what mattered to me. Because to be honest, my
Yeah.
dream in life, Chiwe, is to literally have a farm, be in a
Yeah.
farmhouse with land, my daughter, my
Oh,
people running around, and animals. And so but it's just the fact that what we consume affects us and how we think so
totally.
much. And we
Yeah.
think that we are what we see, but we have to find ourselves. And so I decided to take that leap of faith and believe
Mhm.
that UK was the place. And that's what brought me here. A month before coming here, I had to start rewriting my emotional construct about the UK and around the UK because I will always see
Yeah.
like news about how the government is cracking down on, this or the government taxation. Oh my God, the taxes. All my friends were leaving the UK and going to UAE. I was like, why are you guys running? And they're like, the UK just overtaxing us. I was just like, oh my God, there's so much fear mongering.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I had to now rewrite that construct in my mind and fall in love with the UK before I came. So I came into the
Yeah.
UK, and to be honest, I gotta say, one of the best decisions of my life.
Right. And
My
did you
daughter
come
is
with the family
I
or
came with my family all at
that's
once. We all
right from the
decided to
very
right from
good.
the
Nice.
jump. And I'm glad because my daughter is thriving. She loves it
She
here.
loves
I
it?
love, oh yeah, I love the school she's in. My daughter can go to parks and play. There's just peace here. I just found
Yeah.
peace in this place, and I now realize that I had been abused, totally battered by the Nigerian system for so many years. And I was like, oh my God, this is how to
Like
live.
what car are you driving?
Yes, so
What
yeah.
house, how many houses have you bought? Let's be real. But yeah, I think what I'm hearing is very similar to what, like my Zambian lens as well. There's always the how are you doing on the financial scale rather than, how good are you? Like your well-being, how are you? And it sounds like your well-being came into play.
Look, I think that I had to sort that out first emotionally.
Mm.
I asked so many people questions. The UK's pound is the highest currency in the world. And there were two fears that lived in my chest constantly before I came
Mhm.
here.
You know, you said my chest.
My
It's like
chest,
you're in a TV show now. You're like, my chest.
my chest.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
first was the naira to the pound, the
yeah.
currency. And then the second was rent, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know if this is possible. But we put a plan in place and thank God for community. And I think that Africans need to realize that
Mm-hmm.
we have to, if we can just give that to ourselves, just whether we're from Zambia, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, if we all hold each other's hands, that we are one,
Absolutely.
see, we have to break that belief system that we are all divided, the geographical,
By imaginary borders.
the imaginary borders. It's not true. We are one.
Yeah,
And if we can
absolutely.
just give ourselves community, oh my God, because that's what we had. I mean,
Yeah,
look at me who was, who had made something of myself in Nigeria coming into the UK. It's new land. Nobody knows me here. I've never set foot into this place. It was the first time I was coming to the UK because I didn't like the UK that much. I didn't even come here for vacation. So my wife,
okay. Yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah.
my wife would come here. Even when we were dating, my wife went to school here. I would buy her a ticket to come see me in Nigeria, not rather than me getting to.
Coming over here.
Oh yeah. So I was coming into this place, new land, new me, new. Nobody cared about me, my past, and and my naira. It was new. It was that journey of starting all over again.
Starting over. Oh,
But
totally. Yeah.
thankfully, we had the support system of family, soft landing, stay with us as long as you need.
Oh, that's nice.
And
The
that
stay
was,
with us as long as you can doesn't happen
look,
much anymore. So well done to that
thank
family
you.
that did
Yes,
that
yes,
for you.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. That was
yeah,
what made the
yeah.
difference. That was what made the difference
And,
to,
and and this is going to be leading to a rite of passage, which I really want to delve into. But something that I also noticed in your journey, in this period that you've been around, is that you've either worked or you know one of my favorite people whom I work with very closely, my older sister, Dr. Mojisola Karim. So I saw that and I was like, oh, and I was with her yesterday. I'm with her quite a lot. I work with her quite a lot. So
awesome.
tell me about that relationship. How did you encounter
I think
Mojisola?
first time I came to Sheffield again, we moved here from London to Sheffield when we were looking for where to stay, and we just decided to come to Sheffield. And I came to Sheffield, and then my friend, um, Deyemi Okolawan, was coming to the UK, and he told me, "Yo, I'm coming to the UK." He's an actor. Um,
Oh, Demi, the actor, the one
yes,
who acted with Kehinde in Crown of
yes,
Blood.
yes.
Okay, one of the interviews actually that will sit alongside yours is with him and I. Yeah,
Yes, yeah. And so
yeah.
he sent me a message like, Akah, I'm coming to the UK. I'm coming to, I was like, oh yeah, when you get here, let me know. So
Okay.
he gets to the UK and they sent me a message. I'm in London. I'm like, I'm not in London. No. Or I call him and then he was like, I'll call you back. But then I forgot. Like he also forgot.
Oh,
Um, but we didn't exchange the messages enough to know that I was in Sheffield at this time.
okay.
But I was just gonna call him and just be like, yo, what are you doing in London? I thought he was in London. Then my wife tells me, hey, I saw DME's, social media, he's in Sheffield. I'm like, what? What's happening here? Why Sheffield? Because I had just moved and I
Mhm.
and to be honest, I was shocked by how beautiful, how vibrant Sheffield was. I moved to Sheffield again, blind move.
Blindly.
Blind move.
Yeah.
I just came, I
So what
heard
did you do? You just went like, you went blind, you just like,
Chiwe, I know it sounds crazy, but it was that same knowing, that voice that said,
yeah,
Sheffield, I
I'm
promise.
loving I'm loving that. Yeah, that instinct to the
Yeah,
higher. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I believe God said it's Sheffield. I prayed about it. And I think it was a school. My wife was just like, there's this school, it's an amazing school. And we did research. And I'm like, you know what? That's a school I feel like Gabby should go to. And so that school is a Sheffield. And so that also helped us inform
Yeah.
that, helped
Okay.
us make that decision. So yeah, he told me he was in. I called him. I'm like, yo, where are you? He's like, Sheffield. I what? What are you doing in
How are you,
Sheffield?
Sheffield, man?
And then he told me he was preparing for, a play called Crown of Blood. I'm like, Crown of Blood? Like, I'm coming to see you. So I went to see him rehearsals, and then he introduced me to Moji, and she's like, oh my God. She was like, I know you. I've seen your film. Okay.
Oh,
And that's
great.
how, the relationship started. But she represents to me someone, she just represents possibilities. Um,
Yeah,
when I see a Black woman, who's lived here for so long, but building something with her bare hands, giving opportunities to Black people, recreating Nigerian stories that matter. I think that that's just something that is worthy of supporting, so worthy of emulation or emulating. And it's just, again, we need to see success stories as a community,
absolutely.
as Black people, as Africans. She's lived here all her life, but she's so connected to her roots. And I think that that's something that is, worthy of, emulation, and also something to be admired. I've seen her work. I mean, I literally went to Bread and Roses theater where Rite of Passage is going to be showing in London. And I saw a play, literally, flyers, and I saw directed by Mojisola Karim.
What
I'm
you
like,
call
this
it,
woman is
Chloe?
everywhere. She's everywhere.
No, she does good work, and I'm so glad that she got to at least play a role in your
Look,
shifting to Sheffield.
she
Yeah.
supported. I reached out to her, because I'm very recluse. I don't ask people for anything. And in fact, in my, like, people don't know, I'm very close to a lot of my, like, the actors, the popular actors in Nigeria, because I just like to do my thing and stay by myself, in Nigeria. And that's just me. But
Mm.
then, people would, I mean, just because this is the first time I'm actually doing theater, I had to decide that the worst thing I do is just ask. The worst thing is no. And
Mm.
so I reached out to her and asked for, some help. And she was like, I can't give you this, but I can give you this. And what she could give me was everything. Utopia Theaters, Mojisola Karim, she said they were going to give me theater space, or space to
Mm.
just do my rehearsals
Mhm.
for the show. And that meant a lot, because that was money that was given to me to say, hey, we'll write this off your bill, and I really appreciate her support. And also, we're going to be showing the play, at Utopia Theaters,
Okay, so let's get into that. Let's get into Rite of Passage,
yes.
right? Um, so the premise is arriving in Britain for the first time, which is literally last year, right? And you've been documenting everything that surprises you. Walk me through that story.
What, sorry, just say what?
And walk me through the story
Oh,
of
so
Rite of
so
Passage and what's happened, what was transformative, because it's literally what you've been experiencing this
yes.
period as you've moved here.
I'm not even gonna lie. Once I stepped into the UK, I first of all was hit by a wave of, like, I just needed to rest. I slept for like a week.
What month did you arrive? What season
April,
actually is what I want
April,
to. Okay, so
April.
you were not too bad. You were in
Not too bad.
decent
We just,
territory.
we're in the spring,
Mm-hmm.
so I just slept and slept and rested and then went out. So my wife, who knows London and who, she's like, come, let me take you to Oxford Street.
Yeah.
And I got into Oxford Street. I promise you, I shouted it like loud. This is
Uh,
the great London.
Thing to America.
I promise you, coming to America is the same thing. Oh my God. London, just from the train systems, how everything worked, time, the bus, transportation, how people behave, why I now understood. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I would watch films, American or UK films, I would always wonder, why are they wearing socks and slippers at home? Why are they sleeping with socks? Now that I'm in the UK, I understand.
Yes, we
Because if you don't, cold will cut your leg off for you. So I now understood that cold is emanating from the ground. The ground is
it's
cold.
cold.
That's why they are wearing socks. I never had that in Nigeria. Everywhere is hot. We are looking for open windows, fan everywhere. It's
But here they are socks.
the ground is hot. The roof is burning. So it's literally all of that that just shocked me. I'm like, oh my God, this is why. Oh, I asked myself, why do they say thank you to the bus driver when they come down from the bus? Like,
Yeah,
why
thank
do
you,
they have to say
driver.
thank you? I'm just like, no, what's happening? I paid, I got it. He did his job. It was transactional. I he didn't give me a free ride. All of that just
Yeah.
basically started writing it down, and that's what led to Rite of Passage. But I think what's more important is when I got here, there wasn't any because I literally thought that moving was about carrying load from one place and dropping load in another place. But I realized that relocating is more than that. It's about mental, spiritual, systemic educational move and shift. And I realized
Mm,
that there was no playbook for Africans, for immigrants. There was no
mm,
playbook for, people who had moved from different parts of the world to the UK and say, this is the way this system works. Because I think
yeah.
people underplay the strong power of the system that is
Mm,
built to be UK. UK is a systemic city, a systemic country, and people don't understand that code. And when
yeah.
I thought that people who had lived here for years didn't have lingua for what it was, how to, understand it and pass that information knowledge across to the next person, what to expect, what you see, how to navigate it. I now realize that this is what my show should be about, helping
Right.
people navigate that passage, that, my immigration is a right, yes, but
Mm-hmm,
there is a
mm-hmm.
right of passage where you can actually say, when you see something, I get this, this is what I need to do, or you laugh at it. You laugh
Sounds
at
like
things that shock.
multiple rites of passage.
Yes. But helping us also to
Yeah,
laugh at
yeah,
some of the things that, and again, finally, to make people believe in who they are. A lot of us, a lot of Black people, a lot of people, the media tells us, a lot of Asians and Indians, a lot of the media tells us or beats down on immigration or makes us feel like
yeah.
criminals for moving. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is something that is the oldest and most human thing. People have always migrated. We all
People have
migrated
always
for
moved. Yeah. People
people
have
have
always.
always moved.
Yeah. Can I
Hmm.
ask you something though? There's something that I'm finding unique to you, which is it didn't take you the usual sort of 2, 3 years later, I've found myself or I'm able to talk about this and understand this. Is it your support network or is it just you or is it you and your God? What is it that has helped you ground
Uh,
yourself quicker?
first off, I would say my faith, my core, my connection with God has really helped me to find
Mm-hmm.
myself because I found myself in Him. Secondly, I would say support systems, like you correctly said, family, just giving me space to breathe and be and
Yeah.
rest and
No
just
pressure.
no pressure, just find out what's happening first. Where am I?
Yeah.
What is happening here? And third, my wife,
Oh
just
yeah.
being there to, pick up the slack when
Yeah.
I couldn't, but also speaking over me, praying with me, speaking
Mm-hmm.
to me,
Yeah.
also having mentors, but also having a dream is very important. And I think that a lot of people come here and they lose their dream, they lose their wonder. And I think the secret
Mm-hmm.
to truly getting into the matrix is making sure you do not lose your wonder. Let everything still marvel at everything. Let everything still make you feel like, oh my God, like, oh wow, that's amazing to see. And I think that that's what helped me cope
Yeah.
in navigating that matrix of what this journey of me becoming who I am becoming. I still haven't found it completely, but
Then
I
at
would
least you're bold, you've been bold enough to step into this direction where you are
that's
able
right.
to document it
That's
and
right.
already you have a production
That's right.
that
That's
has
right.
it already played elsewhere? Or is Sheffield going to be where you
So
start?
I haven't it hasn't been shown yet. It's going to be first shown in London, and
Okay.
then London Bread and Roses Theatre on the 26th and 27th, and then Sheffield for the 31st of July and the 1st of August, and
Right.
then for Manchester on the 14th of August. We're going to be
Okay.
showing all that. But
So
what's
you've got a
amazing to
tour
me,
there. You've got a tour already.
I have a tour, and then
You have
we're
a
going to be showing at
tour.
Utopia Theaters in November, December. But what's amazing is I shared this idea with the Arts Council England, and applied for a grant, and they reached out to me and said, "Hey, you know what, we think your idea is good enough, and
Good.
they've decided to, send some funds for, a grant, give us a grant for. So that, just having that label of supported by Arts Council
Yeah.
is just tells me that, this is an idea, this is a show that,
It's
they,
important. It's an
yeah,
important
that
story
is
to
important.
tell.
Yeah.
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 How did you arrive at the format of it? You chose solo performance, and also there's some humor, like you said, and then there's comedy, physical theater, and there's also personal reflection. How did you arrive at that? At that?
I think, oh my God. First off, let me start with the comedic one first, which is to say that I didn't have money to pay any other person.
Thanks for your honesty. Truth, yeah.
you know,
So you had
so
to do it.
I said, you know what, I'll do it myself first. Let me see. Let me see. But I think that, the most important is that the story felt deeply personal to me because it was my journey, it was my story. And when I wrote it, I saw it as a one-man play. But it's a man who everybody else sees themselves in, because I knew that I knew for the life of me, I cannot be thinking these things and seeing these things alone. Like,
Yeah.
these thoughts have occurred to so many people like me who have walked this same journey, this same path, navigating what it means to start all over again in a new country, in a new land that doesn't know how to pronounce your name, or, doesn't know your past. And in a system that wasn't written for you. So I think that that was very important for me, that I wanted to stay true to the voice. But again, third is my director, Kenneth Uhoho, who's working on this project with me, who's a big shot number one theater director in Nigeria. He had been telling me for years, do a play, do a play, but I just never felt like, 7 years, I just felt like, no, 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 I don't have, something important. I don't think I can write. I've
Deflecting,
never
yeah.
written before. What will I do? What will I say? Oh, no, because he's the convener of Lagos Fringe, or the Fringe festivals in Lagos and Abuja.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was just
So
like,
he saw you. He
yeah,
literally saw
yeah,
you and
yeah.
what you, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just felt
Nice.
like I was an actor, but he saw
Yeah.
something more. And
Yeah.
so this time, I was just like, I heard his voice again. And, in my mind, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll stay true. I'll do it. And then I reached out to him, and he was like, he would be, honored to direct the play. And so he's
Oh, great.
on it too. So yeah,
So
that
has
those
he been directing it remotely then?
remotely. I'm going to be going to Nigeria in a couple of days. We will work physically. Then he's coming to Nigeria. We will work with Utopia at the Utopia Theater Space.
That
That
would be
was,
wonderful.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
our paths would definitely be crossing quite a lot. Yeah, and so I wondered whether you could speak to the post-show conversations. They said every show is going to have conversations.
Mm-hmm,
Did I
mm-hmm.
read correctly?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think that is very important. Like I said, I wanted this show to not just it's a journey of my story and how a man navigates this new place starting again. But I know that it's gonna mirror a lot of people and their stories and
Hmm.
what the journey has been like. And I want to hear that. I want them to hear, I want them to affirm and confirm. And I also want people to feel, to leave that place feeling heard, seen. Um,
Hmm.
and feeling like they matter. Because I feel like most of the time we're hushed, we're told to, it's like we want to live like nobody sees us, so that we
Just be
don't
under the radar, just be
yeah, under the
safe.
radar, so no, but we don't offend anybody. And I think
Yeah.
that that's not how we as Africans and our ancestors lived. And I think that
Yeah.
we should carry
Yeah.
our DNA and who we are everywhere we go to. The media is beating down on migrants, and I don't think that we're the problem. And so we need to celebrate ourselves, celebrate our story, our courage, our audacity. And that's what I want to give people the opportunity to do. So every session is going to hit, I want people to tell their stories. What were the things that shocked you and
And
let's,
you're right.
yes, let's all
Yeah.
laugh together. And that's why I want to use this opportunity to also build a community of people, because it's more than the show. It's going to be a community of people who, can encourage each other, and we'll have systems where people can work together to invest together, think together, play together, laugh together, travel together, whatever it is. But a convergence of Africans, migrants, who are saying we deserve to exist
We're
anywhere.
here.
We
We're
are
here.
here.
Like we're
Yeah.
just being. Yeah, we're
Yes.
just being. Absolutely. So just for those who may need to look you up, where should they find all the information about the production and all the cities it's touring? And yeah, how do they find information?
Thank you so much. People can reach out to me on Instagram at Akah Nnani, AKAH Nnani. At Akah Nnani, you click the link in my bio, it will show you all the links to buy tickets in London, 26th and 27th of July, in Sheffield, 31st of July and 1st of August, in Manchester, 14th of August. There's also a link to join our community so you can get updates. All of that is in that one link. So it's a Linktree account, so people can reach out, and people can also check out for my films on Netflix, on Prime Video, and on YouTube. But yeah, people can also send me a DM and say, "Hey, we
Hi.
saw you, and we listened to your radio."
Oh, brilliant. Oh, Aka, I'm genuinely looking forward to your production. And also, just to say, at the time of recording, we're currently bang in the middle of Migration Matters Festival right here in the city of Sheffield,
Yes,
which
like you too.
which is celebratory of migrant culture. So I think it's very timely that I got to meet you. I got to be introduced to you as well. So thank
Thank you, Chiwe. It's really, really a pleasure to even have you, reach out and say, hey, we should have you. It's just really kind. Thank you so much for, this interview. I've really enjoyed it. And,
you.
I'm looking forward to
I
meeting you
mean, you're
person.
in Sheffield, our paths would definitely cross.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to just your network. I think in Sheffield, I can actually see the journeys it will take because I know some
Wow.
people who, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Chiwe. Thank you.
So I've been speaking to Akah Nnani, actor, presenter, who's got a new production coming up called Rites of Passage. It's going to be coming to London Theatre in Sheffield, and it's going to be touring in Manchester and other places, including London. My name is Tchiyiwe Chihana for African Voices Radio and TV.